What's up, AnimeBallZ fans? Ray here with another exciting episode of What's New Japan for what has been a week of extremely high temperatures here in Melbourne. Seriously, we're not even at the end of spring yet. We're somehow reaching temperatures of 30 degrees and over. What the hell? Anyway, you didn't come here for a weather report, and I don't have the qualifications needed to be a meteorologist. But I'll tell you what I do have the qualifications for: giving out anime reviews. So without further ado, let's get started. First up on my list this week is an anime called Yugioh ZL 2. That's right, it's a sequel to the Yugioh ZL television anime series. Now, fair warning, this will have some spoilers if you haven't seen Yugioh ZL, but I'm going to go on a limb that most people watching this video probably have, but I'll still put the spoiler warning just in case you haven't. Anyway, as the curtain closes on the World Duel Carnival in the first series, the new story begins in the now peaceful Heartland City. However, the envoys of Valian, a world hostile to the Astral World, have one more proverbial card up their sleeve. Get it? Card? 'Cause they play card games? In space? Yeah, okay, it was funny to me. Anyway, to face this threat, Yuma, Astral, Kaito, and Ryoga put aside their rivalries to join forces. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in this series, but if it's anything like every other Yu-Gi-Oh series ever created, I'm going to go ahead and guess the good guys have the better cards and they win. But hey, who knows? Something might happen and the bad guys win. You'll have to watch to find out. Next on my list is an anime called Sakura no Pet na Kanajo. It follows the events of Kanda Sarata, who's a second-year high school art student, who was recently kicked out of the school's dorm because he was found keeping a cat in his room. Sarata begins to live in the apartment house known as Sakura, infamous for its eccentric residents. Here, Sarata is asked to take care of one of his classmates, Shina Mashiro. Although she is a brilliant painter on the same scale as people like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci and all those people, she's like really, really good. Anyway, even though she's that good at painting, she's extremely clumsy and lacking in common sense. So they begin a sort of master and pet relationship, so it probably borders on etchiness. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the series yet, but I feel like I want to. But it may border on etchiness. It's sort of reminding me a little bit of Love Hina, and we all know how etchy that stuff got. Anyway, still a good series. Check it out if you want to. It looks really good. Moving on to the next anime on my list, this series is called Psychopath. Now, the series takes place in the near future, where it is possible to instantaneously measure and quantify a person's state of mind and personality. This information is recorded and processed, and the term psychopath refers to a standard used to measure an individual's being, as well as doubling as the name of the show. Anyway, the story centers around the enforcement officer Shinya Korigami, who is tasked with managing crime in such a world. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but this sounds bloody interesting to me. A world where you can instantaneously find out if someone is crazy or not, as well as finding out what kind of personality that person has, is sheer awesomeness, to put it bluntly. Kind of looks like Darker Than Black, except less variety in the psychic bendy spoon powers that people have. And if I had to go out on a limb, I would probably guess that there will be an element of whodunit mystery thing reminiscent of Detective Conan. So yeah, I'd say it's probably going to be something like Detective Conan meets Darker Than Black, which isn't all that bad. Definitely check this one out. It's probably the series I recommend most in this week's What's New Japan. So at the end of another week of What's New Japan, another extremely boiling week. What have I told you about? Well, I've told you about Psychopath, the series that takes place in the near future where it is possible to automatically know if someone is absolutely bonkers. I've told you about this story where an art student is put into a master-pet relationship with one of his classmates because she seems entirely hopeless to live by herself. And I've told you about the second series of Yugioh ZL, which is just more card games. But hey, if card games is what you want, then definitely check that one out. I've been Ray, still am Ray. This has been another episode of Watch New Japan.